Guess who's back, bitch?
Hi everyone, welcome back to my booktube channel. My name's Tolani and you're watching Tea Time with T Reads.
Maybe I'll read a book, or maybe two or three. I'll add a few more paintings to my gallery. I'll play guitar and knit and cook and basically just wonder when will my life begin. Maybe I'll read a book, or maybe 17. I'll add a few more paintings to my gallery. Play guitar and knit and cook and basically just wonder when will my life begin.
So hi everyone, welcome back to my booktube channel. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you're new here, you are most definitely welcome into my inner circle. So today I'm doing my July wrap up. I think I read about 27 books in July. Not all of them were like full-blown novels, some of them were manga, short stories, etc, etc. But anyway, you'll find out about that when I get on with it. So without further ado, let's get into my wrap-up. So I read quite a bit of manga in July. The first manga I read was the last 3 volumes in the cultural maid-sama manga by Hiro Fujiwara. So on the last day of June, I decided to reread the whole manga because this is one of my all-time favorite shoujo. It follows Aizuo Misaki. She's 16 years old and she is the student president. Gaucho means president, and she's the student council president of Seika High School. And up until recently, this school used to be very male dominated and there's not a large amount of girls. And so what Aizuo's goal is to make Seika more appealing so that the male slash female divide is more equal. However, Aizuo has a secret. Her family is very poor, and to get some extra cash to help her family, she works at this maid cafe which a lot of otaku frequent, and that is her secret. Then we have this beautiful man right here, aka the other love of my life, Usi Takumi, and he is like the coolest guy in school. All the girls want him, all the boys respect and look up to him, and he has been fascinated with Aizuo Misaki from the beginning, like since he first laid eyes on her. And he finds out her secret, that she works at this cafe, and then he starts going there regularly. And they're also kind of rivals, though it's more so on her part because she hates him. She hates him because he's always one-upping her, like she's always second and he's always first. This just follows them, their escapades and the things they get up to, and they get up to a lot, and their budding romance. And I love this so much. This is one of my top 2 favorite shoujos of all time. I freaking love them. You see Takumi, that is my babes, because I just love that he has eyes for no one but Misaki. All the women want to move him, like they all move to him, all demand them, they proper rate him, and he's just so cool, like, and he does not pay anyone else mind but Misaki. Even though sometimes she moves really cold with him, he just doesn't care. It makes me happy when I'm down, okay? And your girl be getting down sometimes. That's just how the cookie crumbles. Also read another manga. When the 4th volume comes out, I'm just gonna use that as an opportunity to buy all the physical copies because I love this manga. So Desiree from Genki Reader here on BookTube, the channel will be linked down below. One day on Twitter, I was asking for good shoujo anime recs. It me like 6. The first one I decided to watch was Watakoi, Love is Hard for Otaku, and it is the most amazing shoujo there is, in my opinion. I love it so much. Subsequently, I went to go and read all the available volumes on my Kindle. 5 out of 5 stars. It is perfect if you want a romance with working adults, like from 26 to 28 years old plus. If you like otaku, if you like office romances, you will love this freaking manga. I adore all the characters. So when we jump in, there are 2 couples because there's 4 of them and it focuses on the 4 of them. One of the couples have already been in a relationship for a very long time. The other couple, we get to see their romance start out and budding, and it's so cute. Hirotaka, he is my baby, that is my man. Omose, I love her. Koyangi, I love her. Kabakura, love him. I love them all. I also read another manga, and that was the first volume to Recovery of an MMO Junkie, and I haven't rated it yet. Like, it was okay. I also watched the anime and it was good. Like, it was all right, but it's not my favorite that I've watched or read. Then I read Barbarian's Choice by Ruby Dixon, and this is book 11 in the Ice Planet Barbarian series. So I'm so deep into this series and I'm gonna read her other series. Ades has a theory that Ruby Dixon, because Ruby Dixon is a pen name, that Ruby Dixon is actually Sarah J Maas, and if it is, that is so on brand for her. So for those of you who don't know what the Ice Planet Barbarian series, if you have Kindle Unlimited, all the books are free on there. But the Ice Planet series is about these blue big-dicked aliens, also known as the Saki, and the stranded humans who fall in love with the big-dicked blue aliens. This is one of the better books in the series, by the way. It was almost a 4 stars. It was 3.5 and I really enjoyed it. The reason this is one of my favorite books in the series is because there was a few books ago, there was the introduction of a new plot, and whilst I do read this book for the smart and the sex scenes and just for like enjoyment, I'm not expecting any amazing world building or anything, this new plot line did make it much more interesting, and there's some new lore introduced in this book that made it really enjoyable and had me asking other questions apart from, you know, when are these two people gonna fuck, like when are you guys gonna be, like, pull out your dick, come on guys, let's get going. Like the couple together as well, I think they're very cute. And yeah, the book I read was Meet Cute Club by Jack Harburn, and this was a 4.5 stars. I'm not even gonna lie, it's adorable. The Meet Cute Club is a romance between two men. There's Jordan, and he is this really sweet book nerd, and he runs his own romance book club called the Meet Cute Club, and members are always dwindling. He can't seem to retain his members, and the Meet Cute Club means so much to him. And after he leaves his job because of a disagreement on what he should be being paid, it's like the Meet Cute Club is all he has left. That is his passion project, and he really wants it to succeed, and he's trying to figure out a way for him to increase membership. And then you have Rex, and Rex is like kind of a bad boy. He has these daddy issues, he's very cheeky, he's a bit of a troublemaker, and it's about their budding romance. Rex ends up joining the Meet Cute Club, even though Rex has mocked romance books that Jordan really enjoys to his face. So when he first joins, Jordan's like, why are you here? Like, are you here to mock it? If you're here to mock it, like, bruv, you can just leave. And Rex is like, no, like, I actually want to join still. Like, I want to see what you love these books. Like, what do you love about these books so much? So whatever, he joins, and their relationship begins and goes from there. And I freaking loved this book so much. I thought the smut was 10 out of 10. At one point I took off my glasses, like, that Jack and Rex were adorable together. Like, I actually wanted them to go together because I think they complement each other really well, and they are what each other needs. And I read Pleasures of the Night by Sylvia Day, and the reason I picked this up because I was just on Libby scrolling through. I thought there was going to be some amazing smart in it, and like, I'm not gonna lie, at that point in time I just wanted really good smart. Like, I was not in the mood for anything serious, any hard-hitting literary fiction or a high fantasy. I just wanted smart. The concept of this book sounded really cool. Heroes of the Night, there are these dream guardians, and these dream guardians are assigned to these dreamers, and their job is to protect the dreamers from the nightmares. And there's this guy, I think the dreamers, they're not human, they're immortal, Aiden Cross, and he is assigned Alyssa to protect her. However, for a human being, she has really good control of the dream world, like frighteningly so. Whenever they meet in her dreams, they're always overcome with this overpowering lust, and they have sex, really good, passionate sex, okay? It's very steamy, until one day he actually appears at her doorstep in the flesh. And yeah, it's just about them and their relationship forming, and there's obviously a fantastical / paranormal subplot there. I haven't rated this book yet because I thought this book had so much potential. The concept, the way it was explained, it sounded really cool. But the execution, in my opinion, it was not done very well. Very messy. It read like a first draft. I thought it was just like thrown together. I wouldn't say the writing was bad. I don't think it was bad. It's just that it was really messy in my opinion. And also their so-called steamy sex, I don't know if there was something I needed at this point when I read it, but it wasn't it for me. The book didn't give it to me. I didn't get what I wanted from it. So next thing I read in the month of July finally was Crescent City by Miss Sarah J freaking Maas. Oh my bloody gosh, 100 pages. Okay, so it's a bit big, and I finally read this, and I still haven't rated it, but I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I have a vlog and review coming to this channel very soon. So for those of you who clearly have had your internet cut off since the beginning of 2020, Crescent City is an adult fantasy series. It's Sarah's first adult fantasy, and it's focusing on this woman named Bryce Quinlan. And Bryce Quinlan used to light up Crescent City. She used to be this very notorious party girl, but all of that changed after the murder of her best friends. 2 years later, the way that her best friends was murdered, it's happening again to several other people. And so the governors, like the leaders of this city, they call in Bryce and they're like, listen, Quinlan, you need to help us investigate this because we need to get to the cause of this. And she is assigned to fallen angel Hunt Afla to make sure, so he can make sure that she does what she's meant to do and help them figure out what the fuck is going on. It follows the two of them, this murder investigation, and there's so many things going on. I actually loved Crescent City. I really like Bryce. I absolutely adore Rune. Oh my gosh, I adore him. I think I'm in the minority here, but I'm not sure how I feel about Hunt. From what I've seen, people really love him. I don't know how to feel about him, and I don't know what it is. Like, I genuinely don't. I fucking love Danica, okay? Danica is the love of my life. I love her. I adore her and Bryce's friendship. I think it's so cute. There's a bit I was talking to Anne about, and I was almost brought to tears, and Anne said she was actually tearing up as well. Like, I love them so much. I adore their friendship. This series has so much potential. I really like the lore of the world. I think it's very intriguing. I think there's rooms for a lot of questions, a lot of things to be explored. It is similar in places to Sarah's other books, and I might dive deeper into that in my vlog / review, but it's not completely the same. Then the next book I read was Sea Witch by Sarah Henning, and Sea Witch is a young adult fantasy, a Little Mermaid retelling, and unfortunately this did not hit the spot for me. It was a 2 out of 5 star telling, and it's actually set in 19th century Denmark, and it focuses on these 3 friends. So there is Nick, and Nick is a prince, and there is Evie, and Evie is a commoner, and she's half Italian, and she's also Nick's best friend. And then they have another friend, and her name was Anna, and Anna was a noble, but she died a long time ago. Anyways, Nick almost drowns, and he's saved by this mysterious woman, and the next day this mysterious woman that saved Nick approaches Evie, and she looks exactly like Anna, their deceased best friend, and she wants Evie's help because in 3 days, if she does not get Nick to fall in love with her, she is going to die, because she has traded her tail for legs, and what she needs is love. And obviously Evie helps her because she looks like her dead best friend, but also she believes her to be earnest and that she really is in love with Nick. I gave it a 2 out of 5 for so many reasons. Firstly, the so-called plot twist at the end was very poor. Very fucking poor. In my opinion, what makes a successful plot twist? Yes, I love when I don't see plot twists coming, but make no mistake, when I reread things and I didn't see it coming before, I can see that the seeds were planted for this plot twist to take place, okay? It was foreshadowed. A good plot twist isn't something purely for shock value. No, there has to be reason behind everything. There has to be clues that have been left beforehand. The book just not, it didn't hit the mark. This plot twist was unprecedented. I'm sorry. No, it didn't make sense. There were even things that happened before that contradicted this plot twist straight from the character's mouth, that ruined any redeeming qualities that the book may have had. I didn't really enjoy the characters. I thought Evie was very naive. I thought Anna, it was very silly. She was being very stupid, very unreasonable, and Nick was just a dance. Then the next book I read was Akata Witch by Ninendi Okafor, and this was a 4.5 stars. Brilliant, bellissimo. So Akata, which is set in Aba, Nigeria, and it focuses on Sunny, and Sunny is 12 years old and she is albino. And all Sunny wants to do is go outside and play in the sun and play football with her mates and not get bullied at school. And she just feels really lost. So they were living in America, moved back to Nigeria. Some strange things are happening to her. And then she becomes friends with Orlu, who goes to her school, Chi-Chi and Sasha. And when she becomes friends with them, she is thrust into the world of the leopard people. And the leopard people are a society who possess these great powers. I don't want to call it magic because it's not magic, it's juju. And yeah, and Sunny discovers that she also possesses juju and she has these great powers. She's now learning about this world with her friend. But however, it is not all sunshine and rainbows, because there is a notorious murderer, the Black Hat, and he is on the loose. He maims and kills children, and Sunny, Orlu, Chi-Chi and Sasha find out that they are an Oha coven, which means they are a young group of people, of leopard people, whose purpose is to fight evil, and it is their mission to take down the Black Hat before he causes destruction to this world and disrupts the spirit world and merges the two together, which would be utter and complete chaos. Follows them and Sunny's journey to learning more about her powers so she can put a stop to the Black Hat with her friends. I freaking loved this book. Oh my gosh, I love this book. Ninendi Okafor is just the author. They are that author. They are, I'm sorry. And I really love the concept, because in most fantasies magic is this like really elaborate thing, and in this one it's not, because like I said, it's juju, and so things work very differently than you usually see in fantasy books. And I really like that, especially because in my whip that I just finished writing, Grave Watchers, there is also juju magic in that book. She made it seem so amazing and fantastical, and I really enjoyed it. I love the way juju was portrayed. I love how you have to use juju, and that was an inspiration to me. I also love all the characters. Chi-Chi, she is so confident and sassy and like very powerful, and she knows the power she possesses, and she doesn't shy away from that. She revels in that. Sasha is a troublemaker and he is fearless, and he always runs headfirst into trouble. Orlu is just kind of the calm one of the group, even though they're all the same age. He's like, he looks after them all and tries to keep everyone safe. And then Sunny, she is just amazing. Like, I love her so much. She is so resilient and strong, and even though things are hard for her, she keeps going, and I freaking love that. I read The City Born Great by N.K. Jemisin, the queen of fantasy, and this is a short story. Basically, New York City is about to be born, and the city chooses like a midwife, and a midwife for the city is someone who will help birth it, help with the process of the birthing. And I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. It was written well, as per usual, like N.K. Jemisin writes well, and I thought the concept was very interesting, but I just didn't enjoy it as much as I have enjoyed her other works, such as The Fifth Season and The 100,000 Kingdoms. This book I read was Stormfront by Jim Butcher, and Stormfront is the first book in the Dresden Files series, for which there are planned to be 24 books or something like that. And the reason I read this is because it was on Daniel Green's top 10 fantasy list, and I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. So the concepts, again, is really cool. It's an urban fantasy. It's an adult urban fantasy, and it focuses on a wizard named Harry Dresden, and he is a PI. He's a private investigator, but he does it for paranormal activities like magic consultations, etc, etc. And Chicago PD gives him a murder to investigate, which they suspect involves black magic, and because he needs the moolah, he needs the money, he decides to take it on. Book follows his investigation. What I liked about this book was the worldly aspects. For example, Harry worries about money, he worries about rent and stuff like that, and usually in fantasy you don't really see that, but it's because this is an than urban fantasy. So I really liked that aspect of the book. And again, I enjoyed that the magic in this book isn't as elaborate and in your face as opposed to like high fantasy or something like that. Again, the concept of a wizard PI just really intrigued me, but in my opinion it wasn't mind-blowing. It's things that we've seen before. It wasn't anything spectacular to me. Then I read The Secret Lives of Babashigi's Wives by Lola Shonei, and this was so good. It was 4 out of 5 stars. The Secret Lives of Babashigi's Wives follows a polyamorous relationship. So there's Babashigi, and he has, I think, is it 3, 4 or 5 wives? I don't know, but he has some wives, and it follows this relationship. It follows the marriage and all of the rivalries, the intricate family relations, the complex relationships within this home. This book was very well written, and there was so much going on, so many secrets, so much mess, and I love mess. I really like it. Was so messy. I loved it so much. I live for the drama. I love the mess. I really do. Like, it's a bit of me. It's a bit of me. It is a very enjoyable quick read, and I think this would make a sick Nollywood film. Like this, if this was a film, this film would bang. I'm getting back into literary fiction, so I read another, and I read All My Mother's Lovers by debut novelist Ilana Masad. You're focusing on 27-year-old Maggie Krause. Her mother Iris dies, so she lives, I think she lives in LA, and she goes back to her hometown. She has to rush back, and her father is an absolute mess. Her brother is so angry, and she has to pick up the pieces basically and start arranging shit. In Iris's will, there are these 5 envelopes, and they are all addressed to these different men. So Maggie's thinking, what the fuck is this? Like, who are these people? She has never heard of them in her life. So in order to run away from her grief and her anger and confusion, she decides to go on a cross-country road trip and hand deliver these letters to these men in the hopes that she can find out who the fuck they were to her mother and why they were significant enough for her to leave them letters. First of all, there is LGBTQIA plus rep in this book. The main character, Maggie, she is a lesbian, and she is in a relationship with a woman, and her girlfriend's name is Lucia. The book explored some fascinating themes such as estranged relationships, family dynamics, etc, etc. I kind of suspected the plot twist, if you could even call it that, towards the end, but it was still very well executed, and for a debut I thought this was stellar. I gave it, was it 4 out of 5 stars? Like, I really enjoyed it. So Maggie, I don't think she was exactly the most likable character. I didn't like her at times. Like, I still gave the book 4 stars, so clearly I enjoyed it. And one thing I always say, the kind of reader I am, I'm 50% plot driven and 50% character driven. So usually if I don't like a character, like, that will affect the rating. But if I can still rate a book quite highly despite not liking the characters, then in my opinion the author's done a good job. The next book I read in the month of July was Dear Martin by Nick Stone. 5 out of 5 stars. Fucking phenomenal, beautifully written. I loved it. So Dear Martin follows Justice, and he is excellent. Okay, he's top of his class, he's on his way to an Ivy League, and everything is looking up ahead for him, but he realizes none of that matters when he is wrongfully arrested for trying to assist his white passing girlfriend. His girlfriend's mixed race, and he gets arrested for this, and as a result he's really shaken up by the experience, and so he decides to turn to MLK's teachings, and he decides to ask himself, what would Martin do? And he starts writing these letters to Dr. King and seeing if he can live by Martin Luther King's philosophy. I love this book so much. It actually made me cry. I cannot remember the last time a book made me cry. The last book that probably made me cry was The Poet X. Apart from that, I don't really cry. Like, I'm not a crying kind of person. It resonated with me so much, but it also made me so fucking furious to read what we as black people constantly have to go through, and it's really upsetting. But the book was beautifully written, it was short and sweet. I loved the friendship between justice and his best friend. I love the book so much. I love the characters. I love so many of the topics that are discussed in this book, and yeah, it was perfect. Can't wait to read some of Nick's other releases, because I don't know why it took me this long to read Dear Martin, because I was so excited for when it came out, and then I don't know why I didn't get to it. So finally got to Full Disclosure by Cameron Garrett, and I think this was a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Oh my god, guys. So this follows Simone. She's got great friends. She absolutely loves musicals, and she is the director of her school's musical, and she is lip-sync making out with the finest boy in the whole of the school, Miles. However, she's also HIV positive, and this complicates things. She then starts receiving these threats in her locker that basically, if she does not cut off all ties with Miles, they are going to out her to the whole school that she has HIV. First and foremost, it was so very informative. There was so much about HIV I did not know. After reading this, I actually went to do some research and I learned a lot. There's incredible LGBTQIA plus rep in there that was so amazing for me to see, and it really made me smile. And it didn't seem like it was just put there for representation purposes. It felt really natural. Absolutely love the friendships and the family aspects, and the romance between Simone and Miles is so freaking cute. It made me smile and I really enjoyed, and I highly recommend this book. Hi everyone, before the video ends, I forgot to mention I actually read 3 more books in the month of July. When I was filming this, I was on my period. I was in a lot of pain, very forgetful, very moody, so I'm so sorry I forgot. But I read Still Here, Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness by Austen Channing Brown. Then I read Taking Up Space, The Black Girl's Manifesto for Change. And I also read All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. Now, the first 2 I mentioned, Taking Up Space and Black Dignity, are both spoken about in my non-fiction recommendation video, so you should definitely check that out. And the third book, All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson, which was amazing, 5-star read. I'll be doing a review and discussion video on that. So those are all of the books I read in the month of July. It was a very good reading month. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Please like, comment, subscribe, follow me on all my social media, which will be linked down below, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.